early ice or late ice like this are the highest chances where we have someone that's going to go through, because they're assuming that the ice has been good all winter and now it's not, and they're not thinking about it.
Michael Bernard visits fire departments across Wisconsin and the country to school first responders on the key tactics that save lives of people who have fallen through ice. He says the first rule of ice rescues is to avoid going out onto the ice by yourself to save someone, and if you end up having to do so anyway, revert to all other options beforehand.
60% of would-be rescuers are going to turn into victims themselves without the proper training and awareness. If you go out onto the ice where it's bad ice, you can go ahead and fall through yourself and then become another victim for first responders arriving on scene.
Whether you end up having to go out onto the ice or not, Bernard says this reason is why your first move should always be to call 911.
They could be conscious or unconscious. There's different rescue techniques for how we do things, whether it be a fisherman who's in a float suit that's been floating for 45 minutes or someone that just fell through 2 minutes ago. There's different ways that we do it.
You may also notice that big yellow float behind Bernard. That's called a rapid deployment craft. It has an open stern and bow, which allows the rescuer to not have to leave the craft, meaning that if the ice gives out under them, they can quickly get back to safety before continuing their rescue effort. The craft can also hold multiple victims.
When we're going to the side of the ice, we can go right up over a victim, get our hands on them, pull them out of the ice without ever having to leave the craft.
Although it's ill-advised to try and save someone from the ice on your own, Bernard says to always call the authorities beforehand. And if you find yourself in a pinch, remember the rule of reach, throw, row, go. If you can't reach the victim, try to throw them a lifeline. If that's not available, see if you can use a floating vessel to get to them. Only if all those options are unavailable should you go to the person on your own.
If somebody is through the ice, we have no idea if the ice is uniform up to that person, whether it's good ice, solid ice like we have out here, surprisingly this time of the year, or we could have really honeycombed candled ice that despite how much it is, it could still break easily under anybody's weight.
In Rhinelander, I'm Jake Force, Newswatch 12.